eStereo. eStereo.
Dobrý večer, je středa a za chviličku udeří 8 hodina. A jelikož dneska startujeme dříve, tak už se teď v touto chvíli ozývá z rádia náš speciál vinilový eStereo, který dneska speciálně nebude vinilový, ale bude živý. Bude živý, protože jsem si do studia přivedl velevzácného hosta, který není nikdo jiný než producent, jeden snad z nejznámějších možná, ne, určitě nejplodnějších producentů elektronické hudby z Spojených států. A tím je pan Kevin Yost. Kevin, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
I brought you here despite of the fact that this is strictly speaking vinyl special. We usually play only records.
Okay.
But this time it's we can make an exception because playing something live is one step above playing records. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Depends on how strict you are about the vinyl.
Exactly. I brought you here because we are going to play on Saturday in Jazz Dark, and I introduced you as an electronic music producer, which predominantly you are you not?
I mean, that's my main. That's what most people know me as. Yes.
But I know, and listeners of Radio 1 should also know that you are above all jazz drummer. Is that?
Yeah, drums is my main instrument, and jazz is definitely what I like to play.
So, before you started to play records, did you play in jazz band or did you drum or what did
not
you do?
really? I mean, I started DJing way before I really got into jazz. And you know where I live back home, there's really not much opportunity to play jazz. It wasn't only up until like maybe 2 or 3 years ago that a friend of mine put together like a jam session close to where I live, where I could actually play. Otherwise, I'd have to go to drive to Washington, about 2 hours away, to play like in a jam session.
Okay, so you just played at home, or how did it
pretty
work?
much like just cassette tapes back in the day, and then CDs, and then MP3s.
What kind of music did you grow up on?
I mean, a little bit of everything. I mean, in the 80s, there's so much. Top 40 was such a variety of different styles of music, So, I mean, I would say, mostly like new wave and stuff like that. I really liked growing up, but I also liked rock, and then when I started to learn about jazz, I loved jazz. So it was constantly like a learning thing for me.
Mm-hmm. And then you started to DJ because why did you start DJ?
Well, a friend of mine got me started. He DJed like a lot of like parties and college parties and stuff like that. And he lived down the street from me, and he was DJing like a pool party. Mm-hmm. And I went up, and he actually used to be our paper boy. He delivered the papers.
Okay.
And I remember because he threw the paper at our door and broke the door. And my mom was really mad. But I went up and talked to him at one of these pool parties and just started hanging out with him. And he introduced me to everything and took me down to Washington, to the city to buy records. And that's when I got introduced to house music. And
that was when?
That was probably like 84.
So that must have been like really early house scene.
Yeah.
It wasn't even called house music back then, was it?
Well, I think it was just called house.
Yeah, that was like Frankie Knuckles in Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there was like also like acid house at the time, but to me everything was just house music,
All right.
Back then, it was a lot simpler than all the genres that we have now.
And you've been DJing ever since.
Yeah. I mean, I started doing, it didn't happen overnight, of course. I started doing like birthday parties and stuff like that. I had turntables and a mixer, and a friend of mine had a stereo system, so we started doing birthday parties, and it just grew and grew. And then, I was pretty young doing gigs, and I didn't have any bills to pay, so I spent my money on, the first thing I bought was a drum machine.
Okay.
So that's how I got into the production.
Which one was that?
The first one that I played was a friend of mine's Roland 505.
505?
Yeah.
Well, that's really early. That's old school, man.
Yeah, but back then, man, I was like, it was such... I can still remember just playing with that thing. It was just such magic, just to touch a piece of plastic and have like a
sound coming out?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Jenom abych tady aspoň trošičku přeložil, tak ta drum machine Roland 505 je vlastně předchůdce dnešních nějakých bicích automatů. Vlastně do dneška ty řady Rolanda jdou 505, 606, 707, 808. A v podstatě na jejich zvucích je založená veškerá moderní taneční hudba od techna až po snad hip-hop, po všechno ostatní. I'm kind of trying to reach out for the jazz connection here. So have you ever, you being a jazz drummer, have you ever, or how did it influence your DJing or production?
I went through like a strange time where I wanted to do three things. I wanted to be a classical music composer.
Okay.
I wanted to be a jazz drummer, and I wanted to be a DJ. And at that time, like none of those things were like mixing together at all.
Oh, they do hardly mix at all today.
Yeah. So I had like a struggle, and then I finally decided to like focus on the DJing and electronic music. And I said if that didn't work, then I would move on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the electronic music thing luckily worked out, and since then I've been still really interested in jazz and especially classical music and other styles too.
Okay, so have you ever played jazz set or jazz gig? Like a DJ?
Yeah, but it's really hard, especially in the States. Like to do it like the jam sessions is pretty much where it's at, that you can actually like play what you like, Otherwise, jazz is people do society gigs like for like weddings and stuff like that, where you have to play like the standards and you can't really get too crazy. But like I said, it wasn't until like a few years ago when a friend of mine who's also a drummer started this jam session close to where I live, and there's a lot of great musicians, like, because I live like way out in the country back home. So every Thursday, we would all get together and play, and and the more you play, the further you get, and the more you learn. So it was a lot of fun.
And then you started to do your live shows, because you are going to play live tonight and on Saturday. Yeah,
I had different variations of the live show. One was like a band. I had a band that I toured with back in 2004. And of course that's very difficult to do these days, because there's like 6 people involved.
Yeah.
And then I started doing more of a one-man band kind of thing. When programs like Ableton and stuff came out, where I can do a lot on my own. So I can play drums and play keys and loop stuff and just do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's actually how I discovered you, through that infamous Jazz Escape video.
Yeah.
Jestli sedíte u počítače nebo někdy budete sedět počítače v budoucnosti, tak si na YouTube vyhledejte video Kevin Yost, píše to s Y, Jazz Escape, a tam uvidíte vlastně, jak Kevin dokáže vytvořit asi 12-minutovou kompozici, kde hraje sám všechny nástroje a loopuje se na Ableton, program, který to umožňuje a skládá smyčky dohromady. Why did you move to Czech Republic?
Well, most of my DJ gigs were over here in Europe. So I would come over here and do a tour, which, became, kind of difficult, because, I would come over for like a month or so, and then we'd had to like put all these gigs in a short period of time. And of course, like most of the gigs are on Friday and Saturday on the weekend. So it became harder and harder, and, I would just go home and besides my friends and the jazz gig every Thursday,
Yeah.
there really wasn't, many gigs for me back in the States.
Mhm.
I would play LA every now and then, San Francisco every now and then, but I would say 95% of my gigs were outside of the States and mostly in Europe. So, I'm sorry to answer your question. I decided to come to Prague because it's very central in Europe.
Mhm.
Ironically, I've never been here before. It's one place in Europe that I've never played, and it seems like the scene is small but very. There's a lot of dedicated people involved, and plus it's really beautiful here and a lot of inspiration and
Lots of classical music.
lots of I've been to the opera many times here.
Yeah, I follow you on Facebook, and I've never been so many times in our national theater, and never seen so many acts you actually discovered within the past 2 months.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's really it's pretty affordable too. So I'm really happy with that.
Vidíte, co tady všechno máme a čeho se ani nevážíme. Musí člověk přicestovat z Ameriky, aby si uvědomil, kolik se v Čechách nachází hudby. I think we can maybe talk about some other stuff after you finish your set.
Okay.
But would you be so kind and do your magic?
Sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
Takže Kevin se přesune za svoje kontrolérky a klávesky a začne na smyčku, která nám tady běží v pozadí, skládat další. Jenom ještě zopakuji, že Kevin společně se mnou a s Mickey Kongou, perkusionistou a saxofonistou Maťo Debřičkou bude hrát v sobotu v klubu Jazz Dog na naší pravidelné jazzové taneční noci Groove Dog. A teďka už teda Kevin Yost a jeho živý set pro eStereo na Rádiu 1. Dnešní eStereo, které jsme si užili s živým setem Kevina Yosta, se nachýlilo ke konci, protože nás dneska čeká o trošičku další zátiší, které je samozřejmě věnováno blížícím se prezidentským volbám. A rádi uděláme zátiší více prostoru. That was quite a treat, my friend.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
What do you come up with the ideas? Is it just what comes into your mind, or did you have something prepared?
I mean, there's so many things going on. I mean, I have like some breakbeat loops. I have some beats that I play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that the set that I just played is very rhythmic. Very there's not a lot of melodies going on. You know, there's some solos and stuff, but it's very percussive.
Yeah.
A lot of just rhythms and different. You know how it is. There's spots where there's nothing, and you got to put something there.
Yeah, but I mean, the listeners couldn't see it, and but we filmed it, or you filmed it on video, so we're gonna hopefully put it online so they can actually see what you were doing.
I'll check it out and see if it's okay.
Yeah, I was checking it out. It was okay. It's like 90% of what you did was live, including the rhythmic elements and some of the breakbeats and the melodies and bass lines and everything.
And you can see like there's certain points where I'm just like, crap, where do I go from here? And then you search for it, and then you can tell. You can tell when something connects, and then you go with it, and then something else comes in. It's like like playing. It's like playing with Legos.
Yeah.
You build something, it falls apart, and then you build it up again. It's
and you come up with a shape.
Exactly. Yeah.
In this case, music.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to play with you live in Jazz Dog on Saturday. We're gonna have a saxophone player and percussionist, so it's gonna be
it's gonna be great. And
more live elements.
I was a little constricted today because I have my small keyboard. When I have my bigger keyboard, I can do a lot more. And
I might actually bring my trumpet. Actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh nice.
I play bass trumpet, so.
Bass trumpet.
Yeah, it sounds like a trombone, but it's like a big trumpet.
Oh, is that the one that was at your house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that's just for decoration.
No, I actually play that stuff.
Oh, yeah, bring it, man.
I cannot play it well, but I've been playing it for a bunch of years when I was younger, and then I stopped, and I never really picked it up again. But maybe
that'd be great.
Yeah, just play some basic stuff. Okay. I'll see you on Jazz Dog on Saturday.
Yeah.
Will people in Czech Republic gonna be able to see you somewhere else DJing or?
I'll be playing at I think it's the 26th. I think at the Buccaneer, the boat.
Yeah,
thing.
It's 26th.
But that's a completely different thing. It's more of a house thing, not really jazzy.
Yeah,
so.
Pat Hart is really jazzy. I had him in Jazz Dog too.
Yeah,
He started as a jazz DJ actually.
Yeah. I've only been there once, so I'm not sure exactly what to expect there. But yeah,
you're gonna like it. Buccaneer is cool. Okay, thank you once again. I'm gonna say bye to the listeners.
All right, thank you so much for having me, and now looking forward to Saturday night.
It was pleasure. Takže ještě jednou zopakuju, že s Kevinem Yostem se uvidíme v sobotu v Jazz Doku na pravidelné jazz dancové akci Groove Dog, která tentokrát bude živá, bude tam Kevin hrát svůj živý set, doprovodí ho Matěj Debřička na saxofon, Mickey Konga na perkuse, já si možná vemu trumpetu nebo nějaký jiný nástroj a samozřejmě zbytek noci vyplním já na jazzové desky jiných instrumentalistů a hudebníků. Trošku jsem se do toho zapletl. Nicméně mějte se moc krásně, uslyšíme se někdy u příštího eSterea a teďka už za chviličku přijde zátiší s kandidáty na prezidenta. Doufám, že to o víkendu dobře zvolíme. Mějte se moc krásně, loučí se pan Ultrafino, loučí se Kevin Yost.